Apple is approaching an unprecedented 1 billion paid subscriptions. Let's take a look at that and let's take a look at what that could mean for Apple stock investors. So, Apple now has over 2 billion active devices as part of our growing installed base, double what it was just 7 years ago. That's incredible. Of course, that's what's fueling the 935 paid subscriptions, right? If you have an iPhone, if you have an iPad, if you have a Mac, you're probably going to buy some service to go along with that product, right? Whether it be Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, iCloud, Apple Care, something or multiple things that goes along and makes those devices more useful, more productive, and longer lasting. And so this is what's fueling Apple's growth, its unprecedented growth in paid subscriptions. Here's why that's so important for Apple stockholders here. Company gross margin was 43% in its most recent quarter. That was up 70 basis points from the previous quarter. Product gross margin was 37%. That was up 240 basis points sequentially. 200 basis points is another way of saying 2.4%. Services gross margin, meanwhile, was 70.8%. That was up 30 basis points sequentially. So take a look at that difference. When Apple sells something like an iPhone or AirPods, it makes a 37% gross margin. When it sells services, it makes a 71% gross margin, an incredible near double what the product gross margin is. So when it's racking up these paid subscriptions, it's also racking up the profitability of the business overall. It's expanding the profit margins even more than its already incredible profit margins are. And so this has been an incredible tailwind for Apple stock investors and continues to be a tailwind for Apple stock investors, as you see here. A 70.8% services gross margin. When those services continue increasing, the paid subscriptions continues increasing. And oh, by the way, Apple just instituted price increases across the board for the services. If you're an Apple subscriber member, you will have noticed they sent you an email notifying you of price increases in the last couple of months. So they increased their prices, and it didn't really hurt in terms of paid subscriptions. So they didn't experience this mass cancellation in response to the price increases. In fact, we mentioned earlier they had more than 935 paid subscriptions across the services on their platform. This was up by more than 150 million during the last 12 months alone, and nearly four times what they had just 5 years ago. Nearly four times what they had just 5 years ago. Just let that sink in how incredible that type of growth is. To put that figure into context, Netflix has something like 220 million subscribers. So Apple now it's not a apples to apples comparison. Pardon the pun there. Because Netflix offers just one subscription service while Apple has several subscription services, and this 935 paid subscriptions is paid subscriptions, not subscribers, right? So there's a difference there. Netflix has over 220 million subscribers. This is paid subscriptions. So the same person could have multiple subscriptions, which goes into this count. But still, it just goes to highlight the incredible traction Apple has gained in terms of its services business. And really, that's been the tailwind for Apple stock. That's been the thesis driving Apple's stock price increase over the last several years, is this growth in its services business. It's not really the hardware business, right? The hardware business, the gross margins have been coming down. Uh, the iPhone is in its 14th iteration, and it's becoming less of an innovative product. It's just incrementally adding products, adding capacity. The battery's getting a little better, the camera's getting a little better, but that's not really what's driving the stock lately, in my opinion. What's been driving the increase in the stock price has been this growth in the services segment, because of its robust profit margins and the fact that it's gaining such incredible traction with customers. 935 million. It's, it wouldn't surprise me at this rate if they eclipse that 1 billion milestone in the next couple of quarters. So keep an eye out for that. All right, so that's all I've got for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.